A cold night settles over Windsor Castle. Behind the ancient stone walls, something is moving. Not a royal ceremony, not a celebration, but something far more dangerous. Investigators, lawyers, and a scandal that refuses to die. For decades, one man lived here under the protection of the crown. A prince, a decorated naval officer, a duke. But tonight, the question echoing across Britain is terrifying for the monarchy. What happens if Prince Andrew is finally forced to face justice? And if the Duke of York falls, will his daughters, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, fall with him? Because behind palace gates, the British monarchy may be preparing its most ruthless decision in decades. To understand how explosive this moment could become, you have to understand who Prince Andrew once was. He wasn't just another royal. He was the second son of Queen Elizabeth II, a prince raised in absolute privilege, but also a man who built a reputation as the monarchy's boldest figure. In 1982, during the Falklands War, Andrew flew helicopter missions in an active war zone. That alone made him a national hero. Inside the palace, he was confident, sometimes too confident. Royal insiders often described him as the most arrogant member of the monarchy family. But arrogance was never the real problem. The real problem was who he chose to call his friend. His name was Jeffrey Epstein, a billionaire financier, a man who entertained presidents, celebrities, and powerful elites. But behind the luxury mansions and private jets, Epstein was running something far darker, a global sex trafficking network. When Epstein was arrested in 2008, many powerful people quietly distanced themselves, but not Andrew. Photos continued to emerge, showing the Duke socializing with Epstein long after the scandal became public. And then, one photograph detonated like a nuclear bomb inside the monarchy. In the image, Prince Andrew stands beside a young woman, his arm wrapped around her waist. Behind them, Jeffrey Epstein smiles. The woman was Virginia Giuffre. She later accused Prince Andrew of sexually abusing her when she was just 17 years old. Andrew denied everything, but the court of public opinion was already forming its verdict. Then came the decision that stunned the palace. Instead of staying silent, Andrew agreed to a televised interview with BBC Newsnight, and it would become one of the most catastrophic interviews in modern television history. The entire world watched. Andrew sat under bright studio lights, trying to defend himself. But the explanations only made things worse. He claimed he had no memory meeting Virginia Giuffre. He said a photograph showing them together might be fake, and in one of the most infamous moments of the interview, he claimed he could not have committed the alleged assault because he had a medical condition that made it impossible for him to sweat. The internet exploded, the media erupted, and within 48 hours, Andrew's royal career was finished. Pressure began to build against the monarchy itself. Critics accused the royal family of protecting Andrew. Politicians demanded transparency, and public anger was growing. Finally, King Charles III, who was still Prince of Wales at the time, pushed for drastic action. In January 2022, Andrew was stripped of his military titles, his royal patronages were removed, and perhaps the most humiliating punishment of all, he lost the right to call himself His Royal Highness. For a prince born into unimaginable privilege, it was a stunning fall from grace. But the real damage was still coming. In 2021, Virginia Giuffre filed a civil lawsuit against Prince Andrew in the United States. The case threatened something the monarchy fears more than scandal: a public trial. Imagine it, a British prince forced to testify in an American courtroom, cross-examined under oath, with the entire world watching. For Buckingham Palace, it would have been a catastrophic spectacle. So the royal machine did what it does best. It made the problem disappear. In early 2022, Andrew reached a settlement with Giuffre. The amount was never officially confirmed, but reports suggested it could be millions. And while the settlement avoided a trial, it also cemented Andrew's exile from royal life. The unintended victims. But the story doesn't end with Andrew, because two people now live under the shadow of his scandal: his daughters, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie. But unlike their father, both women have carefully avoided controversy. They built professional careers, maintained strong public images, and quietly supported charitable causes. But the royal system is brutal. In the monarchy, family reputation is everything. And some royal insiders fear that Andrew's scandal may permanently block their path to becoming senior working royals. King Charles is now reshaping the monarchy. His vision is simple: fewer royals, less cost, and absolutely no scandals. Andrew's presence complicates everything. Even living quietly at Windsor, the Duke of York remains a reminder of the monarchy's biggest modern scandal. And some believe Charles is preparing to permanently remove Andrew from royal life altogether. Legally, the situation remains complicated. Prince Andrew has never been criminally charged, but new evidence around the Epstein network continues around the world. And if new evidence ever emerges, the consequences could be historic, because no senior member of the modern British royal family has ever faced arrest. If it happened, the shockwaves would be enormous. The monarchy would face its biggest crisis in generations, and Prince Andrew's story would end not with a royal ceremony, but with the collapse of a duke. So, the question now is simple. Is Prince Andrew's downfall already complete, or is the most dramatic chapter still waiting to happen? And if the Duke disappears from royal life forever, what happens to Beatrice and Eugenie? Tell me what you think in the comments, because when it comes to the British monarchy, the real drama is always happening behind palace walls.